This trailer house meets the requirements, Darcy?
Mhm.
This one, it meets requirements, setbacks, all that,
It's just a regular size.
stuff that.
It's a regular
Yeah.
size mobile home, yeah.
More of a mobile home instead of that.
No,
house
it's
kind
not
of
a,
thing.
it's not a tiny home. It's a regular mobile
Oh,
home,
okay.
going on lot 15.
I didn't know if he was putting in another one.
No, yes, he hasn't even got the first one done yet. He's still working on it.
That is a small.
Yeah,
My bedroom is bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I drove past. He was working on it this summer, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it's still not ready.
Hmm.
Okay, at 7 o'clock, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And Darcy, if you'd like to call the roll, please.
Engelhardt,
Here,
Ingstrom,
Here.
Malcolm,
Here.
Mar,
Here.
Moore.
Yes.
All right, thank you. At this time, we have to pledge allegiance. All those that are able to stand, please. Recite the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 4 is perfection and approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Or any comments?
so moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Carried. Item 5 is public comment time. Bob first. Okay.
If I don't talk loud enough, let me know. I asked to be on the agenda tonight, but the mayor said I couldn't be on the agenda. There are things that we need to talk about. One thing in particular, that is the second wastewater plant the city of Postville has. You didn't know we had 2 of them, did you? Did anyone know that? I have Aggie. You have been paying for this plant. Your city bill that says out of that sewer bill each month since 2007. I don't think that's right. I was never asked if I wanted to contribute to Agri's wastewater problem. And I don't. And what happens is since 2007, with Postville have paid $5,344,000 to Agri's wastewater plant. There was some kind of a deal made, and the mayor was not responsible for this. This happened back in 2007. But that being said, doesn't mean that we can't change this and rectify this. There was a loan that went on through the USDA. I don't know why the city had to be involved with a loan through the USDA. I thought that all of the people in this town would be very interested in this. Because you're paying a lot of money for this, and it's a privately owned plant. It isn't our plant. It's Agri's plant. Also, one more thing, the property that the plant is built on, I checked at the courthouse, it's under Neville Properties, they own the property and plant. Properties. Neville Properties is, I'll let you determine that. Because the mayor told me, if some of you want to dig into, want to know about this, he said, you can investigate like I did, and you can find this out. he says this was discussed in 2007. Well, another thing I don't like is that after the citizens of Postville pay for this plant through the loan at the city will turn the plant over to Agri for and so every year you pay $334,000 sewer fees. Property beneath that plant, Neville, I went to. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, I would like to see my money refunded for this. I didn't know I was paying for this until recently. It's not right. Agri is a plant that we have no, it's a private plant. It's not our plant. We shouldn't be subsidizing.
It's 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll sit down.
Thank
If
you, Bob.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
you have any questions, call me at my house.
Okay.
I'll be happy to tell you more.
Come on up then.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Tom Clark, and I'm here at the gracious invitation of Dora. I am planning on making plans and preparing for a run at county supervisor next year. And I've known Casey all his life, and when I decided to do this, he was one of the people I called to ask about getting my name on a petition for inclusion on the primary ballot next year. And he said, well, you know, and Deborah said, let's bring it to the council meeting, and if anybody wants to sign it, they can, and if they don't, that's fine too.
Tell us a
They
little
don't,
bit
they don't
about
get baby
yourself.
donuts.
Pardon me?
Tell us a little bit about yourself
Sure.
before you sign it.
Sure. I grew up in Waukon, and you know, I'm a 6th generation Albuquerque County resident. I left when I joined the Marine Corps, and have been all over the country working. Now I've returned, and my wife and I live in Harper's Ferry. And I've had several people stop me and say that there's some things going on at the county supervisor level that don't make a lot of sense. And I think that we should have a county supervisor that responds to people and listens to people and hears what their problems are and tries to take action against that. Sometimes the government can help and sometimes they can't, but it shouldn't be always just, no, I'm not going to do that. And where we're at right now. So my plan is to listen, and that's part of why I'm here tonight, is to listen to and get a feel for Postville politics and do what I can to help. So, any other questions?
Have you ever
Served in any
done
other county offices or boards or anything?
I worked in the election department down in Johnson County when we lived down there, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. I've got a lot of experience. I worked for a company called Cisco Systems, and part of my job was solving people's problems. I was not a help desk, but I would go into a business, whether it's a large business. I worked with AT&T and Verizon. I worked with a lot of small businesses as well. Going in and they say, here's what is going on and here's what problems are that we are having. And it was up to me to design a solution for those, to solve those problems and get it back up and running. So I'm used to working with people and working on solving issues and problems. And, you know, we can't do it by yourself, but work with the cities, work with private individuals, and work with the other supervisors to make sure that happens. There's a lot of things that are dictated and mandated by the state, but you know, the county has a big influence on how some of the monies are spent, and I think that you know, we can do a better job of it than what's been done. I'm gonna sit here and listen and, just learn what I can. And if you have any more questions, if you wanna talk to me afterwards, feel free to stop up and we can talk and I'll see what I can do to answer your questions. And I don't want to take you away from the Packer game any longer than that.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, that's the way to get people to sign.
I don't care about the package.
Anybody else? All right, now we'll go on then to, item 6 is the oath of office. Lori, I think we'll do you first, if that's okay with you. Come on up, please. Somewhere I got it. Right there, please. Okay, this is one of those things, I'll say it and you repeat it, okay? All right, raise your right hand, please. Okay, I, and then say your name.
I, Lori Moody,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of the office of the council
discharge the duties of the office of City Council
in Postville
in Postville,
as now and hereafter required by law.
as now and hereafter is required by law.
Congratulations. Oh yeah, here, we gotta have your signature, please.
Of course you do.
Here we go. And how
Just need you to sign here.
Right. And then you, Lori, you'll start next month.
Next month.
Next
Yes,
month.
yes. All right.
Next month, in mine.
Doctor will take care of you. now.
And thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on
Retirement.
Sorry, I wrecked your papers. I can't find your thing.
Here it is, here it is, here it is. Here it is. All right, Doc, you ready?
Yep.
I
I, Larry Moore,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties
discharge all duties
of the office of
of the office of
City
City
Council.
Council
in Postville
in Postville,
as now and hereafter required by law.
as now and hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Amen.
Well, Doctor, you gotta have your signature, please.
Okay, right here, this official signature.
Thank you.
You got any wonder of those? People should get one every time.
I probably have copies I can get you.
You'd have half your wall full by now. All right. Well, thanks you guys for stepping up and accepting this challenge, and we'll get through this. Right, and the next item on the agenda is parking on item 7 is parking on the truck route, and this is just discussion. So we do have a truck route in town, and it comes off of Highway 18 and 52 and goes on the streets of, can you tell me?
It's
the library.
Library.
Yeah,
Maple Library.
Maple Library. And I drive truck, and every once in a while, it's almost impossible to get through because we allow parking on this truck route. So this is just a discussion, and I think, I quite honestly don't think that with truck route, we should allow some parking, but I do understand that parking is a premium in our town also. So, maybe there's a solution to this problem, you never know unless you start talking about it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this include the farm equipment that goes through with bales on it, or farm equipment go up Lybrand too?
Sure.
Now, does this trucking, does that mean like semis, or does it mean like farm equipment as well?
Well, of course, we don't have a truck route. A truck route is where you allow, it should be an easement for a trucker, honestly, because it's labeled that way.
And it is labeled.
It is labeled, yes, yeah.
Well, kind of like they have parking.
Would that help?
I think there's one side.
It's
no
one
parking.
side,
Just
no
one
parking.
side right now, yeah.
That's
the
how it
north
is now,
side's-
one side?
Yes, just one side,
It's the
Yes.
north side,
Yeah.
it's no parking, it's the south side of Lybrand, it's parking.
yes.
How can we can't not let our people park in front of their own homes.
Right, so I mean, that's what I said, but I just give you, because it's a two-way street,
I understand.
so when you meet anybody, you're stopping. So,
That house on the corner, it used to be apartments, is it still?
What corner?
Down at the intersection
Right
about
when you
18 there.
turn.
oh,
Kind of
yeah,
brown
yeah,
house.
yeah,
18 and 52 and
Yeah.
Maple on the right side
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
turning.
it is still a park.
it's still,
Mhm.
yeah.
And do they have other parking besides?
Are you
And
talking
there's
on
not,
me?
there's not much concern on parking on Maple. It's basically all on Lybrand.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Maple, I don't think
Maple
there's any
is,
park.
no
If it
parking.
wouldn't
on
be for
Maple.
the hill at the Fort County Ag, it would almost be better to go up by the ball diamond and around with one.
Truly, yes.
There's
Yes.
a pain there too to take off from a semi if you come to a stop. That would alleviate most of the parking
It would,
along it.
yeah. But that coming off, coming off
Yeah,
of that, that's
that's what I'm
quite
saying, yeah.
quite a twist on the
Right,
trailer, but
right.
yeah.
Now, does this come from like, what's the name of that?
Norplex?
Norplex.
Yes.
Does it go, you can't go on Green, you have to go on Lybrand, right?
They go kind of whatever street they want to go on.
Truly, you can take
Yeah.
any, you
Yeah.
can take
It's just
any
a
street,
designated
it's
route.
just, Yeah.
But that is not designated
No.
for.
and if you're a trucker from out of town, which a lot of these Norplex folks would be, you look for that truck route type thing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Is that typically what the people give out for a route to come in? Do you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one I always give guys,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they turn on to that street Maple and then go off to the right to hit Lybrand.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think other trucks see the same thing you do, and that's I think why Green and this other street get used as much as it does, because you don't have the corner bend as much.
That's it. You
and it's
bet.
straighter
Yeah.
shot for them.
Yeah, and then every other, well, I guess there's probably as many stop signs on that
Yeah.
street too, so.
Right.
But, yeah. So, I mean, this was just a discussion type thing and if we can carry this over to another meeting, but I just wanted to ruffle the hair a little bit, so.
Has there been complaints about it? Or
Me?
good reason to put it on the agenda?
Yeah, yeah, so.
Knows people.
Does it make sense to change it to another street or not? Or is that more of a problem?
Is there any streets that they're all parked on though, right?
Yeah.
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 Because East Williams,
And East Green both get parking one side.
and East Green too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like you said, if you just have them run straight up on Maple and
Right.
turn on Co-op Drive, but then you got the hill at the
Right.
farm
That's what I
store.
say to
That'd
yeah.
be-
right to twist
Difficult.
down and over plus
Yes.
take off from going out. It
Right.
wasn't for that, it'd be almost
That'd be-
ideal.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
be,
the solution.
Okay, I just, something for you guys to think about. Or let her go, one or the other.
And just a reminder, several people that watch it, the OWL have asked that we speak clearly into.
Truly, that's right. I was gonna say
Yes.
that, but yeah,
They said
Yes.
they can't hear us sometimes.
right. So pull your mics in, folks.
You can't really read it.
All right, let's go on to item 8 then, and that's community connections. Crystal.
So it's actually council connection, but it is community connection.
Oh,
so,
it is.
I think we have your name and ink on our agenda. You're here every week.
Pretty much. So I'm actually speaking on behalf of Deborah's amazing idea today, but if she was the idea, I said I would bring it to city council and announce it because I'm not shy. So, I made the poster. Deborah had this amazing idea. Why not have once a week, a little bit of time at the library where people can come directly speak to city council members. And she has volunteered to be there every week, but we would love it if we maybe could have a sort of revolving door and have some other council members come in here and there. We picked a time also that we already have a fluent Spanish speaking employee at the library, so we can utilize them for translation if necessary. And the whole idea of it was there may be residents in town who either can't come to Monday night city council meetings because of work, or maybe they are scared to come to city council meetings. Maybe they feel their English skills are not at the level they would be comfortable speaking publicly with. And we just wanted to make it easier for folks to bring things to our attention, ask questions, understand things, and have it feel like that it was a little bit less pressure to communicate and ask questions. So we'll be doing that every Thursday from 4:30 to 5 at the Postville Public Library. And we're also going to have a little notebook for folks to write questions if they want to come in throughout the week anonymously. Like if they don't want to sit down with someone, or they don't want to know, they want to ask a question and they're scared about, how it will be taken. Then we have a little anonymous notebook that we're going to have for people to write things in. Deborah has set up an email address as well that's on our little flyer. So there's a lot of different ways to get in contact. And then we're also planning to have there'll be a different topic every week, just to make sure it's not just like people randomly show up and then don't have questions, then it's awkward. And so we'll probably announce the topic the week, probably Wednesday, because that's my first day of the week, if we're being honest. So probably Wednesday on Facebook we'll announce the theme or what we'd be talking about, but it could also be anything. If somebody had a specific question about something that wasn't related to what we were talking about, that would be fine. So I think I
will
covered.
go with the heart and soul.
Yeah, and so our
statements.
first 7 weeks, we're gonna go with the heart and soul statements, and then that helps heart and soul as well get ideas, but then it sort of keeps it to things that people have already said they care about. And then after 7 weeks, we'll have to get creative. So maybe the truck route could be one.
Is there a Facebook thing for Heart and Soul that you could put this on?
Yeah, we have a
Some
Facebook
people
page.
don't have.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
community heart and soul.
If you don't have Facebook, you have some other way to get it out.
So what we're gonna do is, that's why I brought him here. So we'll be giving them out. Probably, I'm sure Darcy would probably be okay with a little stack of them at the front desk. We have a Facebook page, and then we also have an Instagram. I know not a lot of people use that. We'll also have the flyers out at the library. And you know what? I can also email the paper. We should put it in the paper. Did you already do that?
I don't know.
Okay. So one of us will do that, because that would be, they could literally just take our file directly and just post it in there. So any other questions? So I'll give you guys one of these flyers. Right now we have them in English and Spanish. And I'll probably leave extra if that's okay.
Yeah.
And I have some for the audience. I don't know how to use
Sure.
Concerned citizens.
The gallery.
the audience.
Anybody got any comments for Crystal? And
Well,
Deborah?
sounds like a good idea. I'll give it a
I
try.
just want to vote for diving into such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a. Sure.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why they want.
Did you want to put one up?
All right, we ready to move on? Let's go on to item 9, then resolution number 1414-23, a resolution approving a division of lot 418 North Lawler of Jeff Allison's. And that information's in your packet. I know what the deal is, Darcy. He's just splitting, pretty much
Yeah,
splitting the lot.
He's dividing the lot and it does, in compliance with zoning that's required for a single family, home, both properties will be within code regulations. And I think his, plan is he wants to build another home.
Side by
It'd
side.
literally be right up here in the corner, Larry, of you're on Lawler, so Murdoch, Lawler, he's right on the corner, that house on
Is
the
it
corner.
kind of across from Barry Mueller's?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right next door to Lilia Tinderhold, that corner lot.
Oh, they want to go side by side or to the front?
Turned by Butch and Miller. Yep, right. No.
So if you're in agreement, I mean, if you get motion to approve the resolution, then.
Motion to approve resolution.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, Darcy.
Engelhardt,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Thank you. Okay, and item 10 then is Hardin Subdivision Engineering proposal, and that's also in your packet. Last month we decided we were going to move along with this project, so here's kind of the outlay of what's going to happen next. And so we'll have to have and this is the contract with Erdman for those 6 scope of services that he outlined there.
Five would be things we could choose to have them do.
These next items, is that what we?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
So do we want to talk about which of those we want to have them do, or just go with the first 6?
I think we want to start out with the first 6.
Okay.
So you saw that total amount estimated not to exceed 8,500 for 1 through 6 listed.
Questions on that?
Talking about a lift station.
Yeah.
That has to do with sewer or what?
Correct, yeah, that's how you start. We got to lay out the sewer.
Where's the southern lift station at? That down by the vet clinic?
It's past Pines.
No, it's by it. That one would be the Hardin subdivision. So it's by more towards 100. It's on 100th Street or by the
Between Dollar General
Dollar
and
General.
the cemetery, basically.
Right.
Dollar General. Okay, I know that.
Kind of down where Dwight used to live.
Right in the ditch there, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, seems like we might need to know some of these other things on here. Before we,
right, which we'll come back to. I mean,
Yeah.
right now we're just looking at 1 through 6 to get going.
yeah,
But you'd have to
But-
like hit 1 through 6 done before we could deal with the next 5.
Yeah.
Where there'd be a new lift, there's gonna be a new lift station to handle this. Plus you have the southern lift station as a bypass, right, in case things go wrong. That way, that, you talk about a bypass.
Well, they're researching at this time, so there very well could be, but they don't know till they get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, is where it says research with city staff. They got to look at the capacity of that lift station to receive a bypass.
So they don't know when they're gonna have to reroute the sewer thing until they get into that whole thing, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot to do before you go.
right, yeah, there's a lot to do. This is just the start.
Or your easement's gonna be needed.
Don't know yet,
Don't know yet.
not till we get into it, yeah.
Okay.
So the first 6 will determine how the second 5 go?
Correct.
Probably.
Okay. And we don't have to know, I mean, I don't know anything about this, but, you know, we don't have to know if it's, you know, like the topography of the whole thing, where it would, where it would flow, or we don't
That's
have
their
to know that.
expertise, I would expect.
So if you remember, we accepted that one
Right,
plan.
yeah.
So that we kind of know how things are gonna
Okay.
get laid out. And then, so they'll act on that. And then, so if we get these next 6 things done, then the rest of these will have to come after that. And yeah, as you see, it takes money.
Especially he says it might stretch into 2025 based on the weather and whatever we should do, whatever we can to
Right.
get going.
Yep.
That property out for crops again for the next.
Yes, we will. Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's, if any more questions, if not, if they need a motion, then to accept the agreement with Erdman on his services.
I move that we accept the agreement with Urban.
Second.
All right. Further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Right.
Opposed say no. Carried. Thank you.
Will the same person be interested in renting it, or?
We'll have to put it up again.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'll
was
have to
wondering.
pull,
Yeah.
I'll have to pull the
I
original
wondered if that
agreement.
was, that could be continued rather than.
We'll pull it.
Depends how it was stated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then let's go on to item 11 in 261 West Stoneman. And if you folks remember, we got that lot on Stoneman that last year we tried to sell it, but we didn't get there, did we?
No, so we've had a party come forward that's interested in it, which has me bringing it back to you again tonight. So we have to go out for bid. And I need to know what the language is that you want in the bid paperwork to offer the property for sale. The last bid notice, we did a minimum bid of $5,000.
Get any?
We had no bids.
No.
So I'm just wanting to, and in those requirements, if you remember, they had so much time to build a home on the property. So I'm needing to know if you're wanting to take it back out for bid, and if so, what is the direction with the legal notice?
Get a bid on it,
Right,
to
yeah.
sell it, and with the need for housing in this community, it'd be nice if something would get built on it.
I mean, we can just use what we've had in the past as far as now it's
Yeah.
for sale. It was, they were gonna give it to anybody that wanted it for 5,000 at least. So we don't have to go through any more of that, do we? Accept an offer?
No, we have to go back out for
Yeah.
the bid.
Because somebody else might want it, since somebody else wants it.
So I'm asking you what you want to change the terms, if you want to change the terms for the last legal notice, or how do you want it to be published?
How much time was on there, Darcy, for him to build something? Do you remember?
We gave them a year. I think the question is, do you want to, I mean, you certainly
Right.
want a home on it, so you could leave
Right.
that language. My question is, do you want a
Right.
minimum bid amount, or do you
Oh.
want to just get rid of the minimum bid and see what you get?
We can accept it or deny it, right?
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
I think if we leave it open, we could get more than what we wanted.
So you want to remove the minimum bid? Is that what you're saying?
Thinking,
The advantage to the city is the income tax, the property tax that can come in from it, right?
Okay.
And if there's no tips or anything else like special things, treatments with that, the sooner the house is built, the sooner we start getting some income off that property. What would the property, any idea what the property tax would generate? Say, I can't imagine a house being less than 100,000. It's just, easy number would be 100,000.
Yeah.
Any idea what that property tax would generate? Is there a certain amount of millage?
You're asking me.
So I'm getting at is if you get it sold, you're getting something back. Right now, it's doing nothing.
Exactly.
So I would probably say remove the minimum bid. We tried that once before, didn't get a bite.
That makes sense.
So if someone offers us $500, we could still
You
deny
can,
it.
you can deny it,
Subject
yes.
to
Yeah.
denying it,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Do you want to leave the language in there about having to build a home and so
Yeah, I
much
think
I
time?
think we
that.
should.
I think so too, yeah.
Just sit there vacant like it is right now, so.
What do you call it? A residence or residential residence?
We would call it a single family home
There you go. Okay.
because that's the size of
That's
the
the size
lot.
of the
Right,
lot.
right.
So what will happen then is we'll go ahead and draft the invitation to bid and then you'll review it at your next meeting and then you'll have to set the bid date, the
Okay.
hearing on it. So we'll draft up the legal language for you to look at and then you'll make the motion to set those hearings. So with the information you gave me, I'll go ahead and draft the next invitation to bid then for your review.
Very good.
So,
We'll have that in January.
yeah,
All right. No further action then.
no,
All right. Okay. Okay, then let's go on to item 12, and that's housing updates. We got those in there.
So this was on your last agenda, and I don't think that we really went over it because the meeting got kind of long. So I put in your notes what was kind of going on with each home, and if you remember, we had in the past around some photos last month that you looked at. And so we just wanted to make sure that you were up to date on what's going on with some of these properties that we have been dilapidated and know that we are working on them and are doing what we can to try and bring them up to code. So that's why it's on the agenda tonight. No action for you, but just wanted to make sure that you were informed with what's going on.
I have a question. On 202 East Green, 202 East Green, is that the one with that fire had been? And
No,
That'd be across from Tracy Shager and,
Hartley's.
oh, that one in the
Yeah,
corner.
and
Oh,
John,
yeah.
Hartley.
That they looked like they were gonna do something with it. And I haven't seen-
is something happening with it? Or they were reciting it or something?
Right.
They got
Started.
some done and then, yeah.
and then halt.
Oh,
They won't allow an inspection,
No.
so what can we do about it?
Well, the city attorney will be a little bit more forceful. So either they'll sign some sort of agreement or they'll be fined is what will happen. So
One said they'll need to change attorney. Does that mean really doesn't affect our timeline,
no,
should it?
it
Or
doesn't.
anything?
Our timeline will remain the
Okay.
same.
All right.
Yeah.
Who owns that house?
Which one?
So I don't think we need any
all right.
action.
So
or
yeah,
anything. We
you
just wanna
guys
make
out
sure that
seeing
you
what's
did.
going on there? Okay.
Is that the one that just split between Williams and Maple? Is that Front Street?
Yes. Mhm.
That where the cars are all stacked up from Reggie's?
No.
Nope.
No. You're on the wrong street.
You're on the wrong street. So
What
where you're
street?
thinking,
Front's the one that curves around,
From
right?
And
Summer.
one
to
that
Li-
goes
Summer to Libran. Or
east-
Maple
east
to
and
Libran.
west.
Summer.
it's in between
Summer.
Maple and Summer.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
Well, Summer's the one I was thinking, I thought, yeah, okay.
It's in between Summer and Maple. It's the first one.
Which house is it?
It's the
First house
second
in?
house.
It's the second house.
House in. It sits
Closest.
back.
It's set back.
Closest to
Yeah.
Summer.
Oh, I know,
Yeah, I
it's
know
right
which one it is.
behind,
I'm-
what's his face?
Yeah, that place.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
That's
weeds
the
in
one.
the front.
Yes,
I
ma'am,
know.
you bet, yeah.
It's way back, yeah. And being a weed person, I should probably have talked about that before.
Yeah,
now.
you should have.
Get
Well,
the weeds out of there.
Is Vogel the owner now?
Yes.
He's gonna change attorneys?
he needs to change attorneys.
His
yes.
attorney is not getting things done for him, I think.
His attorney was suspended.
His attorney was
Well, that's-
barred.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I know who
that
that is.
forces the issue.
Okay, so you, if, as long as he's been in communication with us, there's hope to
You bet.
Yeah.
keep
Yes.
progressing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's hope in all this, it's just that.
Process.
Right, any further discussion on those? If not, let's go on into the consent agenda. Anything
Are
you
we-
guys,
We do with Mary Kay Steve House.
We are filing a 657A. It's been filed.
Yeah, what?
So, we're filing that we're gonna take it.
Okay.
It's
Didn't
pretty
even
much
realize
for
I didn't
all
even
of them,
think until I
All
tried to
but
find it.
All but the-
211.
yeah,
So the city would take possession of it,
If they don't do what we want
Sure.
them to do,
and
yes.
then we could turn around and sell it
We'll
or
probably demo it. It's
demo
bad.
it and
Yeah.
have a lot for sale,
Yeah.
for sale, giveaway, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay,
but the last thing we want to do is end up with
Right.
property. We want these folks to do something with property. They haven't done anything for years.
Or
so-
them to sell on their own.
Right.
but-
Exactly,
Or
yeah.
clean it up
Okay.
or whatever,
yeah,
yeah.
so, I mean,
Do
that's
they-
just,
Do they not respond to anything, or why don't they choose to sell it for little or nothing? Not doing any good now, it's a drain.
Mhm.
How far is up?
Are they paying property tax on it?
yeah, I know they're not a one of them
And the
that's tax liability,
Well, that's
so.
one to start.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too bad we have to get involved that way, but it's a mess, so.
It's just like Maple Street, how many times everybody gets in multiple.
Right, yeah. Lynn, Yeah.
Sooner or later.
so any more on that? Otherwise, we'll go on to the consent agenda.
Where's the Maple property? Everyone knows the property.
Okay.
Right by the funeral home.
That was right next.
Yeah,
to
that's
Jim
the purple one on the corner.
And
The blue.
Shooties.
Oh, the blue.
Yeah,
Where Bev Schmidt
big,
used
big
to
two-story
live.
house.
Ben Sherrant used to live
Oh,
there.
yeah. I know what you
It's a
mean.
mess.
That used to be Clerk and, no,
No,
No.
No.
That was really a round.
big blue house.
yes.
Is it purple now?
No,
Faded blue.
hey, I don't know. I'm
And that was such a-
halfway colorblind.
That was such a pretty house, when Sean's
Had
had.
apartments
still
upstairs
closed on
way
the
back when.
I got it, okay.
Any more that you're looking for?
Well, I can understand that. Okay, I
All
understand
right.
that.
We're good?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll go to 13, consent agenda. Anything in there you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, if there's a consent agenda.
So moved.
For a second,
Second.
any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye. Say no, carried. Okay, item 14, then the resolution for money to pay the claims.
I know if we,
Second,
Second.
Devorah, or Darcy, whenever you're ready.
Engelhardt,
Yes.
Engstrom,
yes,
Moore. I'm sorry, Malcolm.
Yes.
Mar, Moore. Were you awake, Larry?
Okay, thanks. We'll pay the bills. Okay, then item 15 is the budget work session and Darcy's got dates for that. And this is going to be one of those years again where everything kind of changed. Our state government has done a few things that going to make us probably look bad in the eyes of some people, but then they're going to look good. But that's how it is. So anyway, I just had to say that. And so Darcy, you've got some dates and some things. Yes.
All right, so a little bit different budget schedule this year due to the House File 718 that was passed. So it's a big change, not only for cities, but the schools and definitely the county with what's required of them. So I just kind of put together a schedule for you. There's no more max tax levy hearings like we've done in the past. That's now gone away. Now you will set a hearing and have a hearing on your max tax levy after a notice has been sent out. So we'll establish our max tax levy, our levies, and then we will put that information into the Department of Management for the county auditor. They will be required by March 20th to do a mass mailing to all taxpayers. And so it's critical that we meet their deadlines no later than March 5th for cities, so that they have enough time to get their mailings sent out. It's a truth in taxation statement, and it will tell the taxpayer, the school district, the county, and the city's levies that they're going to be imposing on them for the next tax year. So we'll set that hearing for after that March date. So then that gives the public time. Once they get that letter, they can come into your public hearing and voice concern with the levies that are being imposed. Now, remember, you can always reduce your levy. You cannot increase it. So whatever that levy is that you send to the auditor, that's what it is. So if you screw it up, that's what it is.
But there's no maximum level.
There is. So remember, we used to do a max tax levy where we would tell the public whether we're increasing from one year to the next by a certain percentage, right? And if it was over 2%, you had to have a super majority that you're raising that. That's all gone away. Now they're imposing this House File 718. They're calling it the tax, like the ratchet system, where they've combined some levies together that were imposed. Like, for example, one would maybe be a library levy if you voted for that. There's a whole list of levies that now they're going away. They don't want you to be over what the max tax levy, which is an 810 in your general fund. They don't want you to be over that. So when you impose these other levies, like for your library and everything, then that puts you in your general fund over your max tax levy, right? That's all going away. So by a combination of all these levies and what the rollback did for this next year, I think I gave you all the rollback numbers. So remember in this current budget year we're in, remember there was a change in the rollbacks when the state made the error. So this current budget year we were at in residential a 56.49% rollback. This next budget year we're going to be at 46.3428. So it's over an 8% change in what the rollback allows on the tax levy. So you're going to see a significant decrease in tax revenue coming in. Now, remember last year with that rollback change, we were down 20,000 in our general fund in levy tax dollars. This next year, you're going to see a significant more. So we won't know what
cities do. It's going to hurt them too.
Oh, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they grow more too. You
Yeah.
gotta remember.
So then they're putting a cap on growth too, which you saw all that because they're trying to what they call the ratchet system. And over so much years, they're ratcheting down what cities can impose for taxes and schools and counties. So I put together a schedule for you with when we need to have meetings, when you need to have special meetings, your workshops. And I just wanted you to take a look at this and just so that you're familiar with what dates will need to be in here. So we'll do our normal January 8th regular meeting where you allow the boards and organizations to come in and talk to you about their budget request. And then we'll look at a January 22nd as a special meeting to do a budget workshop just for, and then hopefully by the February 12th, you'll have a handle on what our tax levies are going to be, and you'll set your public hearing then for your property tax levy, which won't be till the April 8th meeting. And that's because you're giving time for the auditor to do their mailings in March. Then when we have that tax levy hearing, it is a hearing all by itself. No other item can be on the agenda, and you will take no action on it. It has to be a meeting all on its own. You can't have a meeting, adjourn, and then go into a regular meeting, not unless you wait more than 30 minutes to go into your next meeting, because you don't want the public to think that you're just adjourning. a meeting. They're very clear on all that. So there's just more to it that we have to follow.
So it's on the 8th.
Yep, so April 8th, then we're looking at just having that tax levy hearing. There'll be no other item on the agenda. You'll come in, you'll see if anybody from the public shows up. If not, then you'll adjourn and we'll go home. There'll be no action taken at all at that meeting. You're just allowing the public to come in. And then we'll set a meeting for April 8th, which is your regular one. At that meeting, you'll set your public hearing for your budget, which we're looking probably at the end of April for a special meeting. And then budget timeline this year has changed now, due by April 30th to the state.
So you'll have
So-
2 meetings on April 8th, is that correct? One at 6, one at 7?
Right, one at 6 and then
Regular one at 7.
7, yep. So
It's
we'll
on a
wait.
regular day.
We'll wait enough time, in between to not show that you're just doing recess and then going back into a meeting. It's got to be enough time that you're holding a whole new meeting. So it's all confusing, but hopefully we'll get through it all together. So anyway, that's just an overview of the new budget year, your timeline for your meetings, and hopefully those valuations will come out on time here in January, and then we'll go to work.
Any comments?
Question?
Well, I wanted to share, I'm only following all of that on the library end of it. Basically, there used to be a minimum levy for libraries, a specific amount by law. That's now gone. Now, Postville was already well above that minimum, but what that means for a lot of cities is that now a lot of the libraries who are only receiving that minimum may not receive anything. And it's pretty terrifying. And I can only imagine some impact in schools too, so.
I don't understand why.
That's a question you have to send it to Des Moines. Yeah.
Go in the ballot in the booth.
Fred, any other things on the budget, work sessions or anything like that? And Darcy, thank you. You did a great job. Got that pretty good. It took me 6 months to figure that out. So, okay, let's go on to item 16. Then I got more public comment if there's anybody else like to say anything.
I just want to share something for the school, because I came from the school board meeting, so I just wanted to share it. Usually every year, the second grade does a Norwegian program. Feel free to, if I say anything wrong. But this year, the elementary is doing cultures around the world. This was designed by a 6th grader who I think has already surpassed most of the graphic design skills in this town. And so every classroom or some whole grades got to pick a different country that represents where students at the school are actually from. Like, I know 1st grade has Mexico, I think. I'm assuming all of kindergarten probably has one country, and then maybe the older grades, each classroom has a different country. And there's going to be a fair for the public to actually look at this when there aren't children running around. So Friday, December 22nd, which is the last day before break, from 12 to 1, as the public, we can go in and see the displays. And
So after one.
And
Yeah,
is there
12 to
food,
1.
is there food there then?
There's not food. This is the first year they're doing it, so there's just some displays, but
It's not like the diversity.
You gotta bait them in.
What day is it?
December 22nd, it's a Friday.
Okay, Friday, okay.
December 22nd from 12 to 1 for the public, and the kiddos get to be in there other times during the day.
Right. Thanks, Crystal. Anybody else?
Any word on our new dog?
Well, yes and no. No, I did get feedback on the handler that we have done before. So it's pretty much gonna be up to you guys on the green light. When we go ahead and order the dog, or get the dog. It'll still be the 30-day time frame. So,
So it'll be on your January agenda.
It'll be on
What's that?
January.
How's Zena doing?
good. She's enjoying her retirement.
All right, anybody else? Not, I guess I'm up to the mayor's report, and I just got one thing, and I've the food here tonight, well, Devorah brought in some donuts. And the cake is in honor of Ross's. Ross has been with City Council since 2008. I've just been working with him for 2 years, and it's been a pleasure, Ross. I'm glad we got to do this. But yeah. Just a few highlights. I mean, for a guy that when you spend 15 years doing something, that there's been a lot of water underneath that bridge and a lot of things done in our community. And just to highlight a few of them, with Ross's efforts, he's helped shape our community, supporting a better quality of life for everybody that lives and works here. As his tenure comes to an end, we're taking time to reflect on his impact and years of service. Ross has played an important role in city government with devotion to duty and has accomplished much in his 15 years of public service. He has served during 3 major projects, wastewater treatment plant, watershed project, pool renovation, and helped shape hundreds of decisions that affect our city and the residents. We hope you can take a minute, before we leave, make sure you get a piece of cake and a donut, and then tell this guy, that we're glad that he spent that much time. And we're proud to have served with you, Ross. And thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Any comments or anything?
Ross started city council, that was right about when the raid happened.
You and I both started.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Was,
But,
yeah.
Yep.
That was the same year.
Yes, it
walked the
was.
streets through that
You bet.
situation and
Yes. Yeah.
And that
Lots
was
of
tough
tough
there.
things. Yeah. You bet. And you take 15 years and then there's a lot of knowledge there and a lot of things, and especially say you deal with government, there's been a hell of a lot of change, and a lot of them we don't like to see, but we deal with them, but we always try to do what's best for the community and the people. And that's how we make this thing check. So there, I'm done. So,
Well, and one thing I have noticed, and I'm glad to see, is we did have a lot more people running. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter, but at least there were voices to be heard for council. I mean, we haven't had that for how many years? I mean, I didn't run 4 years ago and was written in for it, which was fine. But I mean, it's a good change, to have people that want to serve the community. So.
all right, any more council? You guys got anything to talk about? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Oh, I'll
I
second.
know that's second. All those in favor say aye.
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 I'll say no. Make sure you eat, you guys, and this is record time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might take a donut for breakfast.